Thank you for that. So, yes, I feel some people send their CV to me, which I'm going to kind of look into quickly. So, and there's some of the feedback will be generic, in the sense when I say generic, it applies to mostly everybody, right? So then I'll be letting you know all those feedback that are peculiar to some people. And I will also tell you, yeah, pitfall that kind of come on to like everybody within the program and also on the CV that I saw. Okay. So like I used to do, I will not mention your name. I will only talk about something that I can use to identify you as a person. So you would obviously know who I'm talking about anyway. So the first person, yeah, so your name starts with S, right? So, and your telephone number ends with 080, and you got a postcode that ends with 3BX, and your email ends with i@gmail.com. Okay. So this is I like this the layout of your CV. It's neat, it's nice to be honest, it's really, really great actually. So and also yeah, the profile page is okay. All right. So the top is fine, it's okay, it's got most of the things that I'm looking for in there, which is fine. So yeah, and also uh the the profile does in the summary at the top, right? If you can try to rework it without having to use my or I, that would be brilliant. Okay. So I'm talking about the overview at the top. Yeah. So just change the I, change the mine. So normally you don't normally put that in there anyway. I like that. Okay. All right. Okay. You're looking for a junior role, which is good, right? So I think it's fine. So, and that's what you do right now anyway. Yeah, I thought so as well. I look at responsibility. Initially, I thought this spelling does not make sense to me anyway, but apparently looking at it, yeah, I think the spelling is wrong. There's a typo there. So I would advise that you spell check. And I think it's more often we normally get the spell check wrong if it's written in capital letter because Word doesn't look at that. So I will ask you to look into that. The first row that you put on your CV, you actually spread the responsibility wrongly. One thing I like the fact that you've kind of added a lot of responsibility, which is brilliant. But rather than putting 5 or 7 words, okay, make them like a sentence, okay? Like for instance, ensuring data quality and integration using blah 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 with that performing. So you just need to kind of elaborate on that a little so that it's not just like bullet punchy straight to the point. So at least let's be something that will fill the line anyway. But what you put in there, they are actually brilliant. Okay. So just expatiate more on that, which I think, yeah, but it's really, really nice anyway. So okay. Um okay, and then previous roles. Okay. All right. So of course you don't know most of the project that you are going to work on, so which is fine now. So based on that, I will let it slide. So then when we do the next review, you can add the project and the tools. The tools, I think you can also Google for the tools. You already know some of the tools that you're working on. So add the tools as well. And I was expecting you to add the project as well. But right now I was okay, yeah, you should add the two, but you can leave the project for now. Yeah. So, okay. So for the next row, yeah, I would just say support worker, right? Instead of the first one that you put in there. Okay. And yeah, then also, yeah, I would look into what, yeah, for instance, administering, blah, 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 managing and escalating. Yeah, something that you can actually see, yeah, something that you can analyze, right? Analyzing behavior, analyzing and making sure, yes, checks and everything. So something that is a bit related to the role that you are looking for, right? So, and that's what you need to kind of look into anyway. So if you already work with data when you submit something and you have to analyze and you have to get a report, so you need to put that more on that responsibility so that it aligns with what you're looking for. So, okay. So, okay. And the same thing applies to the next one as well. So if you want to put that as well. So just look at more of the thing. For instance, now, in the other one, you actually say processing order, returns, and exchange. After you process the order, what is the processing? What is the process that you use? I know that you might have to analyze, you might have to gather data, you might not. So those are the things that you want to put more on that responsibility. But as time goes on, as you know what is the role of a data analyst, then you can be able to kind of look back, yeah, and put more information. Right. Okay. All right, cool. So I think based on that, so yeah, if you go to the soft skill at the bottom, right, you put one, if there's no one in the communication and you have two, three. So I'll just say remove all those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 anyway. So, and just put the soft skill as it is, then education. So 2000, blah, blah. Yeah, the school. I think they need to be on the same line. Okay. Second class, I think you should need to remove that, to be honest. So, if that's okay, yeah. So this is very, very important, to be honest. If you do not get distinction, you don't get second class upper. So to be honest, you don't need to put the rest anyway. So that's my opinion anyway. So, and yeah, if you got distinction, of course, brag about it, even put it boldly and let everybody know. Right. So, and if you got two, and I think that's the okay anyway, except from that, my opinion that you just don't put it. Let them ask you and you can. Well, of course, you have to put the BSc and say BSc, blah, blah, and the course, but the grade is what I asked you to remove. Okay. The next person, your name starts with M and your telephone number ends with 484 and your email ends with o@gmail.com, right? o@gmail.com. You live in London, right? Okay. I think that is sufficient to know, right? One thing, this is my opinion, right? I prefer a CV in Word, not in PDF, right? Because some of the ATL might not access it, and also even some people prefer Word, right? So for instance, when I open Word in my computer, it opens as a on if I don't have, I have Acrobat Reader anyway, but it opens on browser for me, but I want to open it in Word so that everything is there. So sometimes it's easy for your CV to be missed because people that are reviewing your CV at work may be looking into a Word document, and if it's not opened within Word, they might forget it. But that's my opinion. If you can, let your CV be in Word, not in PDF, okay? And okay. And this is another good one anyway. So this is another good CV. So which I think is really, really nice. Yeah. Okay. So to be honest, this one is brilliant. This one is good actually, right? So I like it, right? So and the only thing that I can say, the along your header, there's one line that's there, right? I don't know why it's there at the top before the experience. If you can remove that, it's kind of, yeah, don't know why is that. You don't need that, to be honest. And it's also at the footer as well of that particular page. Try to remove that. So yeah. And then follow up on that experience, which I think is good. So So one thing that I can say about you, I think, because for you to have done a CV like this, I know you know what you are looking for, which is good. So just to ask you, or put that responsibility, put some what's it called, some tools that you've used, right? For instance, you say uh let's say, okay, for instance, let's say managing requirement, blah, 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 and changing and communication changes to stakeholder using, yeah, VCO or Balsamic. Yeah, just put the tools and everything. And at the bottom of that, you can see two snapshots. I can say two snapshots and list the tools that uh, you've used actually, right? So I think the next one is fine. So I don't know whether you need to put intern in that. Just say data science, and that should be fine. So if you have to, yeah, then they can ask you. So, and yeah, the question for you will be why business analyst, but not data analyst anyway. So it's a question that you have to ask yourself because you've got some experiences in that anyway. Or in this role, you could just say you are data business analyst because that's another thing anyway. So just look into that. But this one is good anyway. Yeah, well done on that aspect. Yeah. Okay. All right, cool. Let's move to next one. So yeah, so the next one, I think, yeah, maybe I would not talk about your first name because it's easy to for people to know. So your surname starts with S, right? And then your postcode ends with 0LZ, 0LZ, right? And your telephone number ends with 629, 629. That's end of your telephone number, and your postcode ends with 0LZ. Okay. And okay, so this is also a great CV as well. So I think it's really nice. But the only thing is, let's start with the top as well. There are a lot of spaces, white spaces at the top. If you can kind of reduce the space at the top, that would be brilliant. But it's not like it's bad anyway. It's not a showstopper. So yeah. So then the profile summary is good. Uh, okay. And like I said to the other guy as well, so I will be repeating something, but later I will not repeat it again. So it will be good when you don't use I or my in your profile summary. And for instance, then you can, instead of saying I possess, you just say possess a keen of, yeah, then passionate about, instead of I am, yeah. So you don't need, yeah, you don't need to be putting, they don't normally put all this my or I in the profile summary. So if you want to do that. So then in terms of education and certificates, okay, BSc, you need to write that properly, and M should be in capital letter of your course. Yeah. Safety and health, I think it's okay, but yeah, but I think it's okay because even for some roles, you want to look at, yeah, someone that's got a first aid or something like that. So even as in the office, they might need something like that. But I really don't know. Emergency, yeah. If not, I will remove the third one. Laser, let blah blah blah. So that one, I think you can remove that anyway. So I can leave the you can leave the rest, okay? Mm, okay, so technical skills to blah blah, which is fine. Okay, so technical skills and ability is more than that anyway. So, but for now, I will only assume that, okay, you don't know all of them, but I've told you to look at those tools anyway and put them so that you can get it reviewed properly. So you need to look at the tools for, I'm going to assume that this is a keyway, right? Yeah. So you need to look at the tools and put them. So this one, you only put like two. So I'm looking for more anyway. So yeah, and experience. Yeah. So this. yeah, to be honest, I think the experience is good. The only thing is I can see a lot of buzzword in terms of yeah, scope, testing activities, test cases, yeah, log, tracks, defects, yeah, which is good. Then also, what are the tools that you use for this, right? So yeah, if you can put those Azure DevOps, yeah, Selenium and everything within the responsibilities, BDD, all those things that will really, really be good as well. So yeah, that's brilliant. So I think yeah, you can put those ones. And yeah, if you can add the project you are working on SharePoint, yeah, and you can put the SharePoint project there, and also you can also put the tools that you use for that project, okay? And okay, other experiences, yeah. So for the other ones, right? So yeah. So I think, yeah, well, I think it's okay because for instance now, this particular company that you put there also employs testers, right? So, and sometimes ability to have worked there, know the experience and everything, that's might also count as additional thing for you. So what I want you to do is like look into your roles. What are if you have done any of the testing, even if it's not related to software testing, put I test blah blah track. Yeah, I ensure that even as you do safety, yeah, testing the safety of the blah blah blah. So all those things you are only using the testing terminology, okay, creating document for the yeah testing of but so those are the things that you want to yeah based on your roles that you've done before, just bring those ones that are related to testing, even if it's not for software development, okay? So the next person, your postcode ends with 5NT, 5NT, right, 5NT. Your name starts with O and your surname starts with O. Your telephone number, no, there's no telephone number. Yeah, that's one. You need to add telephone number to your CV, okay? So, but you've got the email ending with o@gmail.com. Okay, o@gmail.com. One thing like yeah, so your name, right? Let me count how many words is in the name, to be honest. Even if I have to call you, I won't call you this name anyway. One, okay, I just want to count the number of characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You got 14 characters actually. So to be honest, I don't think, yeah. And even on this platform, you do not bear this long character, not long name, right? So I would say shorten it, okay? The first three letters, can we be muted if you're not speaking to me, please? Admin, can you help me out? Victor. Okay. All right. Thank you. So yeah. So yeah, if you can, yeah, please remove, yeah, maybe shorten it. I would say that, yeah. So if you want to use the part that you think is okay anyway, because there are a lot of combination of the names that you can use. Except from that, the profile looks okay. There you put a lot of tools in the profile summary, which I think is brown is fine. And yeah, so and with the level, yeah. And to be honest, I don't want, yeah, for instance, experience in dental surgery. No, to be honest, and you can just say I have 7 years experience, yeah, and making transmission into, yeah, as industry as a software tester. So, and you don't, yeah, bring blah blah. So remove the dental part, yeah. So, and that is fine. So, and with Blue Sky. Okay. Okay. All right. So one thing that I want to say, yeah, okay. So blah 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 officer. So assessment, yeah. So diagnosis anyway. So there's a particular word that you can call that in testing. So like I said, you just have to change the terminology. Yeah, make it test yeah, wise, okay. So that when you are talking about your, for instance, you talk about problem solving, there's also that in testing. Team coordination, you need that as well. Emergency response, what is that? Do you get it now? You need to look at that with testing, because for instance in testing also as well, you raise bug, do you get it now? And then address it, right? So you need to kind of look inward and look at that. Diagnosis is basically testing. So what is that? Patient assessments and testing, right? Or something like that. Coordinating, yeah, assessment and also analysis now instead of assessment. Do you get it now? Because in testing, we don't analyze, we don't assess, we analyze. Do you get it now? It's just playing with English. Do you get it now? So that's what I think that you need to look into. That even though you are transferring your skill or you are bringing your skill from other sector, you got transferable skills. Or do you get it now? Those are the things that you want to bring in anyway. So, but this is a good CV as well. Anyway, okay. And to be honest, the question is why software testing? That's one. It's okay if you want to, yeah, because from your CV now, I think your CV might fit perfectly well with um with business analysis, to be honest, right? Because of what you do anyway. But it's not like it's also good, right? If you can put those terminology there as well. It's the fact that you've also worked as, I think I saw data something there as well anyway. So okay, but yeah, I think it's fine. You can just, yeah, the data analysis and reporting along that as well, so which I think is really really good as well. So you just need to kind of fit that in, okay, to what you are trying to do, okay. And I like, even there's some other part of documenting test cases, reporting, but within that, do you get now? You need to bring those one out completely, right? Has it been a time that they brought a tool or even a software or a machine to you, and before you use it, you start to test it? Those are the things that you want to bring out as part of your role, right? I've tested this particular application, but of course, for your role, right? So, and you give feedback. You might also be like a dental officer, but UAT. Do you get it now doing that too? But most of us will have done that in one role or the other, or within our role. So those are the things that you need to kind of add onto your role. Okay. So next person. Okay. Okay, next person, your name starts with D, and your first name starts with D, your surname starts with O, and your telephone number ends with 907, and your email ends with 3@gmail.com. One thing I want to say of is, first, the email is too long, okay? If you can get a shortened one, it's okay. It's very, very long, actually. So get a short. If your email is more than 8 or 10 characters, you think about it anyway. So yeah, okay. So one thing I want to say, well done. This also is also a good CV, but let's start from the top, right? So your personal summary is like an essay. Yeah, you need to cut it down. But it's good sometimes when there's a lot. That means you won't struggle to cut it down. All right. So I love the content. Maybe you might also struggle to remove some of them. Okay. But you can remove them and put in responsibilities anyway. And to be honest, even the responsibility, there is a lot in there as well, which is really, really brilliant. Actually, it shows that this CV is really, really meaty, right? You got a lot of things in there, and which I think they are really, really brilliant. Okay. And okay, so yeah, if you can cut down the personal summary into 2 paragraphs, that would be good, right? Into a career summary, much blah blah. ongoing. You don't say ongoing to present is what you say to present. So that is fine. So key duties, I don't know whether you need to say key duty, but I will prefer you say responsibilities. Okay. Okay, just planning. Okay. All right. So this, right, looks like a copy and paste from ChatGPT because this is how ChatGPT does its thing. So, okay, you need to watch that as well. Okay. So maybe next week I will bring some, yeah, there's a particular, what's it called? There's a particular application that you can use to search if ChatGPT or if they would kind of get you if you have used any AI tool. I think you can zero GPT or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, you can look into that anyway and see what it says about each section. You can even upload the whole file and they will tell you the percentage anyway. So, but look into that. The content is there. Rephrase it more often, right? I know ChatGPT will put a title and they will then explain. So don't do that. Don't put a title like requirement analysis and then you put the description. You just feel like, yeah, copy and paste from ChatGPT. So ensure that you modify it, okay, make it your own, change it and everything. So most CV will not, you not have a subtitle and explain it. Just say, okay, provide help to user, blah blah blah, and then put the tools as well that you use for that, expand it. So and if you can put like 7 or 10 responsibility, that would be good. Okay. And one thing that, yeah, that I think that applies to other parts as well. So if you can look into that, but you've got everything that you need to get in there, but you just need to kind of, yeah, modify it so that it doesn't look as if, yeah, this was copied from ChatGPT anyway. So, okay. And yeah, for instance, the role in February 2024 looks perfectly okay. You can say creating test cases and test procedure based on blah blah blah, and yeah, independently work on the entire software lifecycle. So that is brilliant. That's brilliant. That is the structure that you want. Okay, regression, give you and end-to-end testing, and if I blah blah blah, all those ones. That's what you want. So if you can make that also, yeah. So yeah, if you can copy, make sure that that is the format you use for the first row, that will be brilliant anyway. So well done on that. Yeah. So and in terms of education, so that is okay. So you don't need to put NGR for your education. Okay. So just say, okay, yeah, date, um, role, okay, applied, yes, so and just remove Nigeria anyway, NGR, all those ones, that's fine. So that is okay. All right, okay, brilliant, that's fine. So next one, quickly. So your name starts with T and your surname starts with A. So, and your telephone number ends with 2625, and your and your yeah, okay, your email ends with a@outlook.com, a@outlook.com, which is good anyway. So okay, and okay, all right, this is another great CV. It's another good one, to be honest. I like it anyway. So and good structure, right? So and it's just so that you got that covered first anyway, so which is fine. So and the profile page or the profile summary is okay. If you can double that, it will be brilliant. Okay, you've got one paragraph, you can add another paragraph, that's fine. But however, your key highlights all kind of summarize everything anyway. So is it for me, I think is okay anyway. So and core competence, you put some skills in there. Before the pipe and after the pipe, if you can put some spaces, that would be good anyway. So some people use pipe anyway, but even for me, I could have put it in bullet and put it in 3 columns, but this is also good as well. And anyway, so well done on that aspect. So and in terms of the rows, which is, yeah, so that also looks good. I like the detail or anyway, and also some buzzword that you've also added to it as well. So which is good anyway. So I think this is good. The only thing I can say, okay, all right, so add the project. If you already know the project, of course, we already started the project now, and also add the tools as well, tool that you worked on. So, but this is good anyway. So, and in the next row, right, I would just say service engineer, remove the building, okay? Just a service engineer. And as you can see, formulate, maintain, robust, quality assurance, which is brilliant anyway. So you are actually relating that to what you are doing. So you want to bring the quality part of your role out, right? And also the metric, quality performance, and identifying. So yeah, using data and everything, that's what you want to actually kind of look into. So the next one after that, just say engineer or senior engineer, junior engineer, remove the first part anyway. So title does not matter. It's the content that really matters, to be honest. So, and then bring forth those parts, okay? For instance, in the next one for 2000 and that ends in 2008, you actually said, oh, utilized advanced and diagnostic tools, and I will remove the equipment to analyze issues. Do you get it now? I will just say utilize advanced diagnostic tool to identify issues. Now I've removed the vehicle, right? I just say identify issues and verify effectiveness of, instead of repairs. In computer, we don't do repairs, okay? And you can say effectiveness of fixes. Do you get it now? So those are the things. So, and also keep record of inspection. I would say keep record of analysis and fixes, and ensure that all documentation is accurate and complete. So it's basically playing with words, right? So which is still there anyway. So identify, document, manage any defect. Brilliant. And I don't need to now add or non-conformity. That doesn't, identify, document, and manage defects and coordinating action that is needed. So it's basically the same thing. So train and mentors uh, staffs on quality assurance practices. And now I'm not saying technicians, bro. Do you get it now? And junior staff or something like that on quality assurance practices, techniques, and process. So that's the thing that I would expect you to kind of look into. So, and with this, your role, you remove the title, service engineer or engineer. And then, whether you're a software engineer or you're a software tester, everyone is an engineer anyway. So, okay, all right, cool. That is fine. So then I think those are everyone. So let me go back quickly. So who have I not? Okay, all right, there's another one. Yeah, so apologies. Okay, so this person, your name starts with G and your surname starts with N, okay? And your email ends with 96@gmail.com, 96@gmail.com. Your telephone number ends with 734. So, and first thing, right, is the title, the big title that you put in there, head, blah, blah, service to be honest. So, yeah. And let me look into what you are looking to do so I can be able to advise you properly. Okay. You are moving to see to business analyst, okay? And if he was a Scrum Master or ADM, I could have said, okay, but business analyst with the title, both title, that will not fly. I will say at the top, remove the title, okay? Same thing applies to your responsibility. You need to tone it down a little, right? So, and look into previous roles, right, before you get to where you are actually, because I think you might be a senior person, okay? So, So I think you need to look into, for instance, let's say I look into 2012, right, when you coordinated or govern responses from major incidents and yeah, preside over the meeting, like basically, which is some of the things that a BA will have done, right? You want to bring those one to fore, right? So you want to, yeah, instill a knowledge database that are consolidated. So all those things that related to a BA, those are the things that you want to look into. Okay. So to be honest, different people like the one that you did now, customer delivery, blah, blah, blah. Some people could actually put that role as a BA role, right? Because when I review this responsibility, it looks like what a BA would have done because a persistent review, analyze data incident to provide pattern, emerging risks and everything. So, and automate and refine using tooling and practice. So it could, a BA could have done that as well. So if you look into that, so one thing that also you need to look into is the font, right? You need to be consistent with the font as well. So it's still a bit all over the place in terms of fonts. So, and I think you need to look more. Even the blue sky row, you only put a few lines in there. So I'm expecting you to put some other things that it will be good to have. Okay. But you need to kind of look inward now and refine, right, what you want to do, if that's okay. Okay, I think I've used most of the time. Lastly, okay, got two people quickly. So, okay, so the second to last person, so your name starts with O and your surname and also starts with A. So one thing I would want to say is like look into how you can shorten your first name, okay? Your telephone number ends with 714, telephone number ending with 714, and your postcode ends with 6AR. I said look into your name. If you can shorten it, that would be good. So this is a good summary as well. So yeah, well done on that. And remove the I. So yeah, you can just say dynamic and meticulous data analysis, blah, blah. So, and yeah, and data visualization, full stop. Then you now say adept, which is lowercase a. So that should be capital A. Okay. Lot of adept anyway. I don't, yeah. So you need to kind of refine what you write. So, and also if you can also add more, okay, that would be good anyway. So yeah. So another thing is your education. You just put March 2023 to September 2024. So I would kind of remove that anyway. So that would, it just shows that you've not actually finished. Just remove that. To be honest, even your other education is sufficient. But even if you put the BSc there, just remove the date, and when they ask you, just tell them, okay, I've not finished anyway. So okay, all right, cool. So if you can, let the blue sky row start in the next line, in the next page, not hanging with the other one. So basically your work history will start on the next page. So analyst, blah, blah, blah. So yeah. So the data analyst for Blue Sky, the April, you got typo there. You need to look into that, change that. And the law of metrics, and that I think this was someone was talking about that you put a lot of performance metrics. So of course, be ready to defend that metrics anyway. So which I think is good. But even with that, I think is really, really good CV. So, but I work with says you don't need to put I to, if that's okay. And the same thing, also look into all those typo and starting the letter with lowercase. For instance, developed predictive model. Develop should be D, should be capital anyway. But it's really, really close, and I like the achievement part as well. So yeah, well done. That is brilliant. Okay. Moving on to next person, your name starts with A, and I would assume that your surnames also start with A. Your telephone number ends with 248, and your email ends with @yahoo.com. Okay. So, and yeah, unless you are applying in Nigeria, I think two names is okay. Okay. So your first name and your last name. Okay. Summary is good, key strength and everything. So that also is also good as well. So work experience, that is good. And to be honest, this hasn't got anything that we've done anyway, but I'm going to just review based on that. So anyway, so yeah. So if you are looking for this particular role that you put in there, the responsibility looks okay anyway to me, and the layout also is fine as well anyway. So yeah, I think it's good. The education, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's really a simple CV, which I think is really good as well. So well done about that. Okay, all right, I think that is it for everybody. So and we can stop